You're not married yet, this is advice for you. Pick the nice guy. The guy who's dorky, but in a good way, who's gentle, who's not obnoxious, who doesn't overly post or even post at all on social media. They're always going to keep you happy. They're going to take care of you. They're put your feelings first. I know it's like in the moment and you're young and it's fun to like pick somebody who's like, you know, a little bit out there, who's love bombing you. Those are all red flags. And you're probably thinking like, oh, I'm going to be bored or he's boring. It's better than the alternative. Boring is good. It takes a mature person to realize that, you know, pick the boring guy. When I was younger and in my 20s and early 30s, like I didn't think that. So you're single and you are trying to settle down or be serious with a guy or get into a serious relationship with a guy, pick the one that is boring or that's too nice. I promise.
The key thing here that she said was when I was younger. So the question is, why wait when you are older to learn that someone who's good is good for you? Because to be honest, some things in life that are good are boring. Let's say not doing drugs can be boring. You don't get the high, you don't get to go crazy, right? Not drinking yourself too crazy is also boring. Not partying every weekend can also be boring. Just going to the job and coming home and just sleeping and eating or watching TV can be boring sometimes. Not, going to every party can be boring. So things that are good for you sometimes can be boring. Going to the gym every day can be boring, literally. Like I love the gym, but it can get boring sometimes. So good things can be boring. But I have to play devil's advocate. As men and women, we learn from experiences, and sometimes we do things there are things I did when I was younger that I look back and now I can't, because I'm like, okay, that wasn't good for me. That was not a good decision. So I do agree. But I think the issue is most men are going to look at this. You're like, oh, okay, so you dated the bad boys. Now me as a good guy, you think I'm boring, but you're just gonna like settle for me because you're tired of the bad boys breaking your heart. So I think that's how some guys are gonna look at it.
You like that's what's going to keep your household at peace, creates a peaceful environment. It's the best. Thinking about it the other day when all these relationship things memes show up on my Instagram, how I learned the hard way when it comes to choosing a guy or a lifelong partner. As a 40-year-old woman and someone who's been married twice, if you are in a relationship and you're not married yet, this is advice for you. Pick the nice guy, the guy who's dorky.
So she's 40 years old, divorced twice, and now she's ready for a nice, good guy who's boring. I mean, this is good advice for the young girls, obviously, but I'm sure the women who attacked her, I can't look at the comments right now, but I'm sure the women who attacked her, who don't like this message, right? But I'm glad she's making this message for the young women, because we need women like her who have had this experience to preach to the young ladies. That way they don't have to go through the same issues like her, reach 40, 45 and divorce twice, and then realize they need a good guy. But the issue again is, why should a good man accept her just because she has realized that a good man is now worthy, or a good man is a good choice? You know what I mean? I think that's the kind of the confusing situation she's gonna be in right now, because it's like, if she explains to any good man that, hey, when I was younger, I dated these the so-called bad boys, but now you're a good guy and I think blah blah. The guy's gonna be like, okay, especially if she goes back for the guys she friend zoned, for the good guys she friend zoned or she didn't want back then. Those guys are gonna be like, why should I want you now that after you've dealt with your bad boys who were not good, now you want me to want you? Like, it's not fair. But at the end of the day, I like the message that she's preaching, especially to the young ladies, because most ladies, even her age, still want the bad boys. I'm telling you, still want the bad boys. If you've watched all these pop the balloon dating shows, they literally reject the bad boy, the good guys who have the job and don't do nothing crazy, and they call them boring. You know what I mean? But at least I like her message.
but in a good way, who's gentle, who's not obnoxious, who doesn't overly post or even post at all on social media. They're always going to keep you happy. They're going to take care of you. They're about to put your feelings first. I know it's like in the moment and you're young and it's fun to like pick somebody who's like, you know, a little bit out there, who's love bombing you. Those are all red flags. And you're probably thinking like, oh, I'm going to be bored or he's boring. It's better than the alternative. Boring is good. It takes a mature person to realize that, you know, pick the boring guy. When I was younger and in my
All right, so I guess that's the gist of the message. 40-year-old divorced woman twice now finally realizes it's better to go with the good guys rather than the bad boys who are fun, because the good guys are usually boring. And you know, I think this is where the whole nice guys finish last comes, because it's like, okay, she had a fun with the bad boys, now she wants a nice guy last. You know what I mean? Like after all the fun, now she wants the nice guy last. So nice guys for sure finish last, and they're gonna keep finishing. I could see this as a win for the nice guys or for the good guys. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, she has been divorced twice, probably has kids from all those marriages. So you as the nice guy, it's like, is it worthy? You know, but I like the message that she's preaching. Eventually, if both men and women who are kind of older, who have been through it, can preach this message to the younger generation, hey, don't do this because this will mess up your dating choices, will give you all kinds of heartbreaks, you'll make babies with the wrong person. If they can preach this message, that way the young people don't have to make the same mistakes. I think that will bring us closer and, you know, promote the family unit and a good community in general, and just reduce all the dating craziness going on in 2024. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Till next time, peace.